In this video, I'm gonna show you the most powerful way to release past trauma through your physical body. I'm gonna show you what I personally do to release any stuck old negative energy from my body and to make sure that I maintain my high vibration frequency. Welcome back to Spiritual Selfish channel. My name is Kristina Day, and as always, I'm your host here, where on Spiritual Selfish channel, we focus on you so that you can raise your vibration and be conscious creator of your own reality. Now guys, today's video is gonna be super fun. Like, I cannot wait to actually film this and put it out there. I will be demonstrating you what I personally do to release the stuck negative emotions, lower vibration emotions through my physical body. Now, few disclaimer, notes before we go into it. As always, I'm not, a certified expert or something like that. I'm sharing with you something I personally do to make sure that I keep my vibration on a high level. Because I don't want, anyone to always, as always I say, question everything that you see, where it's coming from, and always do your own research, because only you know what's best for you and your body. But as I always say, have an open mind, take what resonates, leave out what doesn't. And with what I show you today, I just want you, to bring to your awareness what I personally do. So it helps you to expand your mind and look at new things from a new perspective. Because if I would see something like this, when I was just in the beginning of my spiritual awakening, this will definitely be super helpful for me. Also, what I want to mention, that this is something this kind of video, I was thinking already to record it for quite a while, but I was telling myself, well, the room that I'm usually filming in doesn't have enough space so that, I can, stand away, guys, and show you what I do. But actually, one of the past few days, I was doing some inner work and I was releasing some emotions, and you will understand through the video that the way I do it, it's very loud and you can hear it like in the apartment. So my mom, actually, when I finished it, she was asking me like, oh, I heard, I was thinking maybe you're already, on a Zoom call or whatever, but then I heard you start doing it. Why don't you record a YouTube video about it? I'm like, yeah, and I told her well, I don't think I have enough place. So she said, well, just do it in another room, do it in my room. So shout out to my mom for, telling me, for reminding me to do this, because yeah, I don't know if I will record this video, if not her. Anyway, I just want to jump into it straight. And the last two things that I want to mention is what I'm going to show you today in the video. You might label, oh, this is weird, why she's doing it. The only thing I want you to keep in mind, always ask yourself, why? Why do I think it's weird? Why does it make me feel weird? Why I labeled this action weird. I don't think that most of you will think that it's weird, because if you're watching, channel videos about spiritual awakening, most probably you already have, you're raising your consciousness, you're opening your mind. But depending where you are in your journey, some of you might feel like this is kind of awkward, but this is what I'm for here, to challenge your mind and open and expand your consciousness. Now, the second thing that I want to mention is that I don't normally learn content from somebody else. There's not many techniques or teachings that I follow, because I think that our bodies is so intelligent. I trust the wisdom of my body, my intuition. So I'm gonna show you what I personally do, and it comes from within. There will be only two things that I will show you that I actually learned from somebody else, and those two things techniques I will do if I feel like there's some negative emotion or I'm angry in me. I will do those, actually go and do it, and I know what I'm doing. But mostly, I'm gonna show you the free flow when I do inner work and I'm releasing like really deep rooted trauma. This is what I'm gonna do, and it's not something I learned somewhere. It's purely from my own intuition and my body intelligence. Guys, the first thing that I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna start with the two things that I actually learned and I have been practicing for years now. One of the first things I'm gonna show you is, if you want, you feel kind of heavy, there's, you've been in a fight or you just woke up and there's an anxiety in you and you just feel like mad, and you just want to release some of negative emotions. What's interesting is that I've been going for, years in my gym. There's such a class called body art, and it's like a mixture of yoga, pilates, tai chi, like all of the different, there's one movement that I really liked, and I never knew the purpose of it until recently. I saw that Mantak Chia is teaching. If you don't know Mantak Chia, he's I think he's from Thailand, but he has been teaching like Taoism and Qigong for I think his whole life. So check him out if you don't know him yet. But I saw him teaching this exercise that I'm gonna show you. So basically what I want you to do, if you're feeling heavy, I'm gonna push this here. So when you're gonna start by, planting your feet on the ground and kind of curl the ground with your feet, like fingertips, right? So you're gonna kind of curl it. So that's the first thing I want you to know. Once you have your feet curled, right? So I curl my feet. You can see I'm standing now like normal, straight. What you're gonna do is kind of tuck your butt under. When a dog is scared, they kind of tuck their tail under. So you're gonna do the same, right? And you kind of engage your core as well, a little bit. So you have your butt tucked, core engaged, and you kind of see that, my back and my butt is almost the same line, straight line now. What you're gonna do is put your hands up. So I'm gonna show you. Put your hands up like this, right? So feet curled, butt under, your arms up, and you look up, and you smile. You smile to the light, to the sky, open your eyes. You breathe in through the nose, and then you breathe out through the mouth. And this is really when you imagine that you're pulling those emotions and you're pulling the energy from up, and you're pushing it down, 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 and really engage your core. Suck your belly button in, and you push it in, and you kind of push it like, look what I do. And then you breathe in again, right? So I'm going to demonstrate this to you, what I do, but it's basically you breathe in, and you push it. Breathe in, and you push it. So this is something I have been doing for many years now, here and there, when I feel like mad. But from Mantak Chia, I recently learned that the numbers 3, 6, and 9 is when you start to reprogram your body. So it's also, by the way, I learned this from Mantak Chia, that also because of the breath, you not only release the old negative emotions, but you also clean your blood, because you the oxygen starts to circulate, right? So let me demonstrate just 3 of this, but ideally you would like to do oh my god, sorry, I had my head cut off. But ideally you'd like to do 3 sets of 9 reps. Oh, and the last thing, on the last rep, when you breathe in, feet curled, butt under. You breathe in, and on the last one, the very last one, when you breathe out, you kind of really pushed it out, and you then relax and imagine how all of those emotions, negative emotions, you push through your body, through your legs, right? You push them down, and you kind of send all of that negative energy into motherland, because we often think, oh my God, negative energy, I don't want to be dealing with anger, shame, guilt, or whatever. But we have to realize that we are labeling those emotions bad. Those are just emotions. This is just energy. It's not good or bad. And actually, everything in our reality, like the nature has been designed so that it absorbs, the ground absorbs and takes our negative energy as something it, recomposed, and then it can give us the new energy that we breathe in, right? We have to learn how to control and navigate those emotions, right? So let's do three reps together, right? Feet curled, butt under, opening our chest. And when you're also when you're breathing in through your nose, and imagine that you're kind of expanding your third eye. So you're really breathing into that third eye, okay? And don't forget to smile, right? So we breathe in. Last one. Push it out, and then release it all. Give it back to the Mother Nature. Release. And, when first of all, you will feel your core go on fire. You might feel a little bit dizzy because of the breath, especially if you're doing 3 sets of 9 reps. So, take it easy on yourself. Again, as I said, I'm not an expert at this. This is something I do. So I know some people can start, get dizzy or something like that. So, take it either slower or decrease don't do 3 sets of 9, but do 3 sets of 3, right? Even small steps is better than nothing. So this is something when I feel heavy, and instantly, from opening our heart and from breathing in through the third eye and releasing through our feet, you're going to feel so much better, I promise you. So this is one of the ways how you raise your vibration as well. The next exercise that I'm going to show you is going to be the Camel Pose. So this is something I knew for, really years, maybe 10 years. I don't remember where I got it from. But it's, again, something, if I feel that something is kind of clenching me here, and it really helps you to open up your throat chakra, okay? So I'm going to switch the camera, and I'm going to show you on the ground how I do this. But really remember, I don't think it's advisable to do it for people if you have pain in the lower back, because it really involves bending. Make sure you are engaging your core when you do so. And also one thing, you'll see me breathing, sticking out my tongue, and it really opens up your throat chakra. So remember, the more you open it and expand your mouth, the more stuck energy is able to move through. And don't think, oh my God, I look weird or whatever. It's, again, labeling and judging yourself. Ask yourself why you're doing this. Just give an opportunity for your body to open up. Okay, and you can do that. You'll see that I do some breaths like and you have to really push it. But you also can be like when you do the camel pose, instead of just doing this breath, you can, if you feel dizzy or something like that, you can be just breathing like right? So not just like heavy, but more relaxed, right? So listen always to your body, and I'm gonna flip the camera, and I'm gonna show you the camel pose. All right, guys, so I'm gonna show you the camel pose. So ideally you want to do it on a harder surface. I do use like a mat because I have very sensitive knees. But what you will do is I will demonstrate you and explain after, because it's a bit hard to speak when you do it. But basically you get on your knees, right? Get on your knees and tuck your butt under, so you kind of have straight line from the knees up until like chest, right? So imagine like your hips, front of the hips are glued to the wall, and then you start bend, but not from the like back, because you can hurt your back. So make sure you're actually also engaging your core when you do it. That's why you also tuck the belly button in and tuck your butt. But you kind of bend from the top, right? So you start bending from the top, still hips glued in front of you. Then you grab your feet, breathe in. Then slowly come back up and sit down. And if you need to go back to rewatch how I did it, I want you to notice that when I breathe out and I stick my tongue out, I really was pushing and driving my hips forward. So it's really like stretching you here as well. So guys, this was the camel pose. Let me know if you try it. Okay, so the last thing I'm gonna show you is my free flow way of releasing past trauma. The reason I say free flow is because there's no certain way I do it, just like I do it and that's it. So every time it will be different. That's why I want to record a video for you to show you what does it really take to release emotions through our physical body. Because when I started doing it, sometimes I was thinking like, is anyone else actually doing it? Like, I never actually saw anyone online demonstrating this. Situations I usually do it, and is when I do deep inner work, when I release past, programs, pattern beliefs, imprints from my, being. So for example, it's like the whole process I take myself through. So for example, if there is a belief, a fear, or something that I want to work through and release and stop believing it, kind of uninstall the program. We have to do it on multiple levels. And again, because I've been doing this for years and years now, it comes so naturally to me. But I want to tell you, first of all, is that there's no right or wrong way to do it. In the beginning, I said, there's not many teachings I will follow, because I do it on purpose. I on purpose choose not to put external information, a lot of external information, techniques, tools into my mind, so that I can, so that my body can tell me what it needs in order to release. And 100% know that our bodies has been created so intelligent, that we have this wisdom stored in our bodies. But basically, you guys, if I want to release a belief, let me think about, give you an example. So a lot of the people will have fear, a belief, including myself. I have worked through this belief already in the past. But belief of and fear of, I'm afraid to upset other people, right? How many of you can relate to this? Just give me a second. So if I have a belief and I want to work through it, what first thing I will start doing is that I will start talking about this belief. Some people will journal. I'm a very vocal person. I use a lot my voice. That's why I'm on YouTube. But I use a lot my voice. Maybe for you it will be journaling. But I will start talking about the issue so that I can, first of all, release it from my mental body, from my mind. So, for example, I'm afraid to upset other people. So what I will start doing is I will start releasing in from my throat, and I will start talking out loud. And it's hard for me to explain. I will just give you an example. Just watch my body language. So I will really tune into the feeling of the belief of fear, and I will start talking out loud how I feel. So I'm terrified to upset other people. I feel it's my responsibility that to always be perfect, to make sure that everyone is happy, no one is upset, and I always want to do my best. I really feel afraid, and give me this, I want to insert something here. You guys, like now, I'm just trying to remember how it felt, because I've released this fear. And also really important, once you release the emotion, it loses emotional charge, right? So now for me, it's more challenging to tap into it and talk out loud about it, because I don't believe into it anymore, right? I release the emotional charge around it. But really, when you tune in, like, you won't shut up. You're finally allowing yourself to release. So just continue talking about, I really am afraid to upset my clients. I'm really afraid to upset my, boss. I'm really afraid to upset my parents, my friends, my boyfriend, my, girlfriend, and so on and so forth. Just allow it to come true, and, just don't listen like I say something, this is the way you have to say it. No, you really have to say it the way you want to say it, the way your throat wants to say it, so you can start, moving this emotion. And as I'm speaking, like, I really don't want to upset anyone. I really am afraid to get into trouble and upset other people, and then I feel like a failure, and it just reminds me that again that I upset somebody, that like I cannot do things properly. I'm just a mess, like I'm a failure, and I'm just upsetting everyone, and like I just don't want to be reminded again that I'm a failure. Now, I want you to go back if you haven't noticed, but notice how I move my body, right? With my hands, I start to do all of these gestures. I really start to clearing my energy. When we are intentionally connecting, the way you move it is your intelligence of your body, clearing all of this. This is why it's so important not to suppress yourself, because when you're suppressing your body, you're suppressing the expression of the emotions. You're suppressing yourself. And guess what? If you do not express yourself, your body, your voice, your energy, your feelings, where does it stay? It stays in your body, in your physical body, and in your fascia. And that suppressed anger, upset, fear will continue to manifest. And through law of attraction will attract the same things and experiences that will cause you to feel this way, so that you can release. And if you again suppress, it again stays there, and again it will be attracted. By the way, just remember, this is one of the most powerful ways to release. And when you release all negative emotions, this will naturally raise your vibration, because our vibration is naturally high, right? We're coming from love, we're coming from source. So as a beings, we are clear. It's just like true, life on Earth will have been programmed with limiting beliefs and fears and so on and so forth, have been suppressed. So if you want to learn how to raise your vibration, I have another video about it where I talk about, physical level, mental level, and so on and so forth. So definitely check it out. It will be super helpful. But in any case, once I start talking and talk myself out of this, I first allow the emotion to come up and to really talk how I feel. And once I do that, this is not something I'm consciously aware. I'm just now reflecting back how my thoughts were going. So first you release, you talk it out. Then second, you might get angry. You know what? It's not my fucking responsibility why I should be, nice to everyone. Why I need to make sure that everyone is happy. It's not my responsibility. I'm so tired of this. Then this is the moment when you will notice, if you really allow yourself to be, you will notice that your body starts to move really fast. You maybe start shaking, you maybe doing, a movement with your arms. But, I will just show you. I will try to tap into that belief, and I will show you what I do. So when I feel, when I talk through, and then I feel anger, and then I start to feel really coming up, I will be really, really angry. And once I talk all of those anger out, I feel that I'm starting to shake and and I can go for a couple of minutes like this, but I really do not suppress myself. And once you try it, if you try it, let me know. You will notice such a peace, such an alignment in your body. You will feel like a burden, was taken from your shoulders and your heart. Even now, me just shaking and doing this, I open up my throat chakra, I open up my heart, and I create it that it's safe for me to express myself. Sometimes though, I will do this shaking at the very end. So, first of all, you acknowledge the problem, the fear, then you get angry. And then once you, get that anger through, what usually comes after it is acceptance. And, well, it's okay. I forgive myself for holding onto this belief that I always have to make everyone other happy. I forgive myself for putting other people's needs before my needs, And then I also imagine the worst case scenario. You know what? For example, if there's a client and for some reason I do my best, but they are still upset, I know I did my best. And I know, well, okay, if they are upset, what will happen? What can I do? I still know that I will do my best to communicate with them, to, let's figure this out. I'm sorry to hear that this did not meet your expectations, but let's figure this out. Let's move forward. There's always a solution. There's always a way how to solve it. And when we realize, that your fear is not that scary, you let it talk, and then you realize there's a solution for every quotes problem, then you make peace with yourself about it, right? So sometimes I notice that I really want to shake it off after I made that acceptance. And through when I was angry, maybe I was just screaming, or maybe I was just punching. And this is in general, this is what I do. I allow myself to be, I allow my emotions to express themselves, and I will use intelligence of my physical body to release in the way it wants to release. So I just find that shaking and talking is really, really powerful. Sometimes I will be, if it's a problem with somebody else, there's a energetic cord. Sometimes what I will imagine, there's a cord, I will literally imagine, or even a cord with the fear or a limiting belief. I imagine how I'm cutting this cord. So with the power, you really want to put your power and energy into it. I guarantee you will feel so much lighter. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? Get out of here. Disbelief, goodbye. So this is, guys, what I do. And I want you to put it out there so that you can expand your mind a little bit, because I feel a lot of the people think that, inner work is just sitting in silence, in meditation, and being always grateful. Or some people are, there that they think, okay, they know that you have to cry and scream and so on and so forth. But I feel a lot of people do not realize that we have to use our physical body to release as well, right? So you see how much I could and you can release through your physical body without hurting anyone around you, without getting into fights, right? Because we think, negative emotion is bad, and we will want to avoid it because we've been taught that the only way to release it is by, getting in the fights with other people, by putting your aggression on other people. It doesn't have to be this way. It's, again, one of the conditioning we've been programmed to do so that we lower vibration of this planet. But when we take responsibility for our reactions, for our emotions, and we release it in a healthy way back to the mother nature for it to, recompose that energy, we raise vibration of our being, we raise vibration of everyone around us. Let me see if there's any other things I want you to know. Basically, there are many ways how you can release using your physical body. I love screaming, primal screaming. I love dancing. You can be also expressing through art, right? You can, if you need, just go and punch something. Sometimes I will take the pillow and I will scream into the pillow because I don't want my, neighbors to freak out. Crying. Also, what I noticed that sometimes when I do talk with myself, I'm starting to burp, right? So burping, crying, coughing, some people even need to fart. It just signals, it's an indication that energy is moving through your body, okay? So that being said, guys, I want you to remember that trust the intelligence of your body, trust the wisdom, and learn to listen. Remember, there's no one way to do things. Just allow yourself to be. And once you allow yourself to be and listen and feel and allow to express without any suppression, you think, when I was the last thing what I want you to know is that I started doing this when I started doing my inner work. And I had no idea why I was doing this. It just felt so natural, like to shake this all off, right? But it's interesting that only recently I was on one of the Zoom coaching calls, and the coach there, she gave an example of, animal kingdom. Think about like gazelle or zebra. When, there will be chased by a lion, tiger, and if they manage to escape, what? They just experienced trauma, they experienced fear. Before going back to herd, what animals will do? They will shake it all off, right? Shake it all off so that they don't bring it back into the herd, because on an energy level, it will affect them. You see, that in our bodies are programmed to do all of this. We are programmed. We know what to do. We just have to stop thinking, oh my God, this is weird. I'm not gonna do this. Am I crazy? No, you're not. You're just waking up and raising your consciousness. So start listening to your body. And I hope with this video, I could be of help to you. As always, if you like this video, please give it a thumb right now. Share it with a friend who's also doing the inner work, who's also, waking up and raising their consciousness. Because the more people realize how much wisdom our body stores, the easier and the faster all people all around us will wake up. Also, guys, as mentioned in my last video, now I'm available for one-on-one private sessions. So it's called Realign with Yourself, to help you break free from the cycle of self-doubt and move towards your goals. Maybe it's, starting a YouTube channel, maybe it's starting a business or doing whatever. So there's that. As always, you'll find all the links in the description down below. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below, and I'll talk with you next Wednesday. Bye!